All right, let's take a couple steps back. Exchange the whiteboard for different color ones. Okay, so on today's episode of Ebonheart's Insanity and why Season of Discovery is going to have a lot of new content in Phase 4, but we're going to have 2 raids in Phase 3, which is what we're starting with. This here says Phase 4. You know, honestly, let me just push the chair back. I don't need to sit down. I have my glasses and I can read. I'm going to very quickly tie my pants up off screen. Alright, sorry. I've lost 100 pounds in the last 9 months, so a lot of my clothes don't fucking fit correctly no more. I'm gonna grab... No, you can't actually see the green very well. Is the blue readable? Yeah, the blue is very clear. Okay. So on today's stream, as I said earlier, we're going to be covering Phase 4, we're going to be covering Phase 3, and why so many of these little things here can, will, and should happen. We're also going to be talking about the STV PvP event and its second part. But that's just one part of it, because after the STV event, there is a new PvP event coming out, and this one we can confirm that there will be a PvP event in Phase 4. This here will have a PvP event. So, now that we know that Phase 4 is coming after Phase 3, pretty fucking obvious. Scarlet Crusade for Phase 3 is going to happen, and I'm going to explain. We have 2 raids confirmed. Why do we have 2 raids confirmed? Because Sunken Temple is, as of this current moment, is only a 10-man raid. If we only have a single 10-man raid, right over here. Sunken Temple, as of this moment, is... I'm not playing Thunderstorm. I'm sorry, Tech. Thunderstorm is it's a fun game mode, but it is not a good game mode in the grand scheme of things. Because Thunderstorm is way too late to the game to actually provide anything to the player base at large. And Oscar, they did. But ST's current files are still 10-man. So, ST either has to be 20-man, which means we have 8 weeks of nothing but Sunken Temple, which is the main problem that we have with SOD, is that if you simply have a 10-man raid or a single 20-man raid for a whole phase, it's too boring. The number one complaint that the entire player base has had to date with Season of Discovery is that there is not enough content. I believe it's fun, Tecton, don't get me wrong. It looks good, it feels good. I've seen a lot of people play, I've watched it, I've even installed Dragonflight so I could try it out later. But the problem I have with it is that at the end of the day, this is a battle royale. And as fun as it can be, it's only a filler game mode they've added for the meantime while they work on the war within. And they've only added Thunderstorm as like I said, a filler. It's a gap stop. It's there temporarily. It's a 6-week experience, and then they're going to release Thunderstorm Season 2, whatever you want to call it. And that's cool, but... Wait, can you guys hear the music? Shit, I forgot to fix that real quick. Where is it? Here we go. Let me lower the volume of this. Is that too loud or is that good, guys? Someone tell me how does the music sound here? Yeah, no, okay, I fixed the music. Perfect now? Alright, okay, awesome. So now, So before I continue on this, I'm going to quickly finish off with Plunderstorm. Plunderstorm genuinely needs to reinvent the kind of the battle royale experience, and for it to work in WoW, they have to make a new way for battle royales to work in the grand scheme of things. Because as of right now, the battle royale is the battle royale, but it doesn't add enough. Oh no, absolutely, it looks great, it looks phenomenal. I actually have very high hopes for Plunderstorm, because Blizzard typically puts a lot of time, money, and effort into making new expansions. And because they put that kind of effort into making a new game mode, it means they're going to keep working on it. So I think by season 2 or season 3 of Plunderstorm, it'll actually be a much better game. I'm going to play it. I might actually even make a video on it, but probably not. It just isn't my kind of thing. And let me see what chat's saying. Yeah, SOD was designed for more casuals though. The argument that there's not enough content from hardcore players that get to play all day every day, Mo. So HDD, you're actually mildly wrong about that. So they've actually done the metrics on Season of Discovery, and every single time in Season of Discovery, 6 weeks into the new phase, as I said right here, having a single raid or a single experience. So if we had Noma and BFD, so let's just say BFD / Noma. When you have just a single experience for a whole phase, it gets boring, no matter how casual or hardcore you are. And that's the main thing that Blizzard has discovered. It's what Agri and the dev team have discovered. Player numbers start to drop off in a rapid amount after 6 weeks. 20-man or 10-man doesn't matter. Having a single event, a single raid for a whole 8 to 10 week period is too low and it's too boring. It doesn't work. Even if it is a 20-man experience, it doesn't change the core fact that one experience for a whole phase is not enough. See, don't something that any value to the game. I'm here to play. Can't use my toon. Can't upgrade anything but Mogs. No, so there is value and benefit to Plunderstorm. It's just it's not going to be enough for a lot of players, but they can make it good for a lot of players in the long run. Season 2 Plunderstorm could be Season of the Lich King, where you're all Death Knights or whatever you want to call it. They just got to keep innovating and they'll figure something out for the majority of the player base. As of right now, they haven't figured it out, but they will eventually. Or they'll scrap it like they did with HOTS. It is what they say. So even if you have 5 toons, 6 toons raiding every day, multiple times throughout the week, you will still be bored. So 10 weeks is boring, but they can fix it, and that's why there has to be 2 raids in a phase. If you stick to a singular phase or to a singular event, whether it's one PvP, one raid, you just cannot satisfy your player base. Even casual players want multiple avenues of content. You cannot give a ginormous portion of your player base one thing to do. Exactly, you get that, Ada. You need to give people things to do, things to farm, ways to farm and play. The reason why Classic and TBC was not Wrath per se. Wrath is boring as shit for a lot of people. Most people have quit Wrath already. But the reason TBC and Classic was popular is because you had 10 to 15 different avenues of content. You had arenas, you had battlegrounds, you had raiding, you had heroics, you had grinding in the open world, you had dailies, you could level alts. There was the amount of content you could do in TBC and in Classic is staggering in comparison to Season of Discovery and in comparison to Wrath and onwards. That's the reason why some people are bored. All people want is more Season of Discovery, period. Something like a tech demo experiment for active combat system. Honestly, changing WoW to like a more action combat kind of situation could be interesting. It would be a wild experiment, because I feel like that would piss off a lot of players. But I don't see why it couldn't work. But in the grand scheme of things, that's a huge experiment that's going to take time to like pay off. PvPing is also, I guess I'm busy enough. But yeah, no, so HCD, like I said, I'm a hardcore player. I literally spend all my free time, that's not with my family or whatever, on World of Warcraft and Theorycraft and creating content. And just that they did. So, we are getting heroic runes, or heroic dungeons and titan runes. It's coming to Cataclysm first. So, I'm gonna flip this over and show you guys something. Okay, this one I made as a joke, but this one does still have, this one has a fair point. I'm gonna explain this, and then I'm going to break everything down. We, the player base, want Sally Whitemane, because our goal is here, getting between the thighs and booty cheeks. Now, again, this one, I made this as a meme, but there's validity to this. This was a joke I designed, but to save WoW, we need a Scarlet Crusade raid. And to save WoW, the Scarlet Crusade raid... No, this is meant to be her backside. I mean, I guess the line should go... I guess the line should go like this. That's better. But the point I was making was, as the player base for World of Warcraft and Season of Discovery and Classic, you want millions of players, Blizzard? Agrand, I know you watch my content. I don't know if you watch my streams, but I know you watch my content. If you're watching this shit, this right here is how you get millions of players. Now I'm gonna wipe this out, because this was like I said, I have to discuss heroic runes and titan runes, but where's my wipe? My insanity, I am not insane. I'm just saying there's validity to this. I know people think I'm a bit obsessed with Sally Whitemane, but I'm not obsessed. I am the person who is right, and I'm logical about all of this. Let me finish wiping this shit out. This shit. I had my whiteboard for one day and I've already fucked it up. Alright. What if the SM raid map is just Sally's portrait? I don't and all day just the white? Okay, no, I didn't buy the whiteboard just for that. But Sally Whitemane is permanently etched on. This is now an inside Easter egg for chat. Drawing Sally Whitemane's thighs, birthed a line image straight into my whiteboard. But let's get into the shit. Heroic dungeons. This is something that's coming to Season of Discovery. And now so we have heroic dungeons. We also have Titan runes. So heroic dungeons, Titan runes, 2 raids for phase 3. Now, if you look at this right here, this is the plan that they need to make for phase 3. If they just do Sunken Temple and nothing else but Sunken Temple, they will quite legitimately have the exact same problem they're facing right now. Yeah, so I had, without saying anything, because there is a confidentiality thing when you do those surveys. And if you leak what they say on the survey, it's Blizzard's way of saying don't trust this player anymore. So, I have not done a survey. But hypothetically, if I had done a survey, and in this hypothetical sense, I received the survey and I answered it. This here and this here is coming. So, when we have heroic dungeons and Titan runes, and that's what I'm saying, even 2 raids is not enough. The classic player base is very needy. Well, just the World of Warcraft player base in general is needy. So, if 2 raids isn't enough, and you just expand on STV, you need to give people a way to farm, a way to do things outside of raiding. Because the reason the raiding... Yeah, there's also a screenshot of the survey, so I don't have to keep saying this hypothetical shit. Someone else leaked it. Heroic Dungeons, Titan Runes, 2 raids. The player base needs content. Because the only reason everybody is bored of Nomerigan and BFD, or like the raids for the phases, it's because there's not enough to do. If all you can do in World of Warcraft is going to Noma or going to BFD, you are going to burn out. You're going to get tired and frustrated. When there's only one thing for you to look forward to and play, no matter how fun it can be, it will ruin the gameplay experience. So, how do they not ruin the gameplay experience and keep increasing instead of decreasing the player base's numbers? Easy. I'm going to stop using the red marker because it's not very visible. I'm going to be using blue and black going forward. I had the DMF buff even after 2 locked on Noma. I didn't... Exactly. People raid, log out, and stop playing. So, right here, we have ST, Sunken, Temple, and then we have new raid. But that's only enough to keep people interested temporarily. Yeah, black and blue will go well. Jota, I do understand what you're saying, but you have to realize the classic player base has changed. Even if they were to do fresh servers, even if they were to do fresh classic era servers, like, you know, fresh, no gold, no nothing, everyone starts level 1, and it's essentially a re-release of 2019 classic, the server will die because there's only so many times the casual and medium tier players will play classic. Because, don't get me wrong, the server will be successful, but Classic 2019 had millions of players. A fresh Classic server will maybe have 100,000, if even that. Now, will all the people be dedicated? Yes. But the people that play Classic era buy gold, farm 1 billion times, they do GDKPs out the ass, like it's a nightmare. And those are the people you'd be making that kind of server for. Thought is full of new players, casual players, middle of the road players, hardcore players. Everybody plays SOD. And that's why SOD has to be innovative in a way that works. Are Titan runes suicide? Hypothetically, it could be. People might be upset. But there is a massive lack of healers and tanks to do dungeons. Nobody runs dungeons because it's boring. There's no reward for you as a tank or a healer. You're going in there, you're rolling the dice. Half the people have 3 brain cells and 1 chromosome. So when you play with people like that, tanks and healers need to be given something to make them want to raid and do dungeons and do things. Is it shitty? Yeah, people should just be playing. I'm gonna tilt this a little bit so my face is more on screen. I got down. My face keeps cutting out. There we go. I understand what everybody's saying in the sense that we shouldn't have to reward people. You shouldn't have to be given a goodie bag being, oh, who's a good tank and healer boy? Are you a good tank? Here's your potions and consumables for raid. I get that. Nobody wants that to be a thing. But how many of you can go right now, log into Season of Discovery, log into Classic Era, log into Wrath, and just look for a dungeon? How many of you will find that? Almost none of you. Well, Wrath you might actually. I mean, I don't know who plays Wrath anymore. I don't even know if Wrath still has players. Like many people are saying, Season of Dads Unite. And my whole guild is full of retail Andes. Because the player base is a very reward-driven, reward-based player base. To get rewards is how you incentivize them to play. Thank you, Ada. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But now we also need PvP on top of all of this content. So, STV Part 2. But that's the thing. Retail players only want to play WoW. Pretty much the majority of WoW players are in a Stockholm Syndrome kind of situation where all they play is World of Warcraft. So for them to play anything but World of Warcraft needs to literally die. It's why retail players jump from retail to classic, back to retail to SOD, to classic era, season of mastery, hardcore. But there will still be a DPS Kuma without using the family brain cell at the time thinking he can tank. I can retail at some point in Legion when I got tired of the grinding. I didn't renew my sub for SOD. And see, that is the thing. A lot of retail players, ex-retail players, ex-classic players, ex-whatever you want to call them, have come back for SOD. But everyone's complaint is the same. And I've said this like 15 times in this stream so far. Like all my previous streams are the same. Everyone that watches me knows I'm a literal copium addict. But Season of Discovery is phenomenal. It just needs more content. What do they need to do for STV Part 2? It needs to be the Hinterlands event. It needs to be a continuation of STV in the Hinterlands. It needs to be a continuation of STV with pirates. It needs to be a continuation of STV with a new flavor for the phase. All WoW players are retail players in a way. It's just the player base has grown and got kids and families, so we're not a different race. Exactly. People want to play WoW, but it needs to be casual enough that everybody can play, but have enough depth that anyone can put hundreds of hours in. If it's too casual, the casuals won't play because they can see that there's nowhere to go to. The one thing that people forget about the casual player base is the casual player base thinks that they can eventually someday become hardcore again. So they need to see that there is a hardcore endgame for them to someday reach. 99% of the casual player base will never go hardcore again. They'll never sweat it out again. They'll never be super sweaty because their wife will divorce them if they're playing 16 hours a day. They also have to go to work and shit like that. But they want to know that they can, maybe someday, take a week or two off and get there. My question is that pre-60 dungeons were not designed to be endgame content. It's totally normal. My thoughts are we just need to buff health and damage from dungeons and some kind of reward previous. Yes, everyone here is correct. The original dungeons and things weren't designed for level 60. But if we're basing it off the original design, World of Warcraft was meant to go to level 70. Vanilla's original design was 1 to 70. Hyjal was his own. Encourage was his own. Grimbatol had an expansive zone region. The Underdark was meant to be in-game. You were meant to be able to use the Dark Iron highway to actually access things underground. Ironforge connected to Darnassus. So many things got changed. Not because they weren't meant to be things, but because the developers changed it to make it easier for the player base or more consistent with their design goals and their budget and time. Season of divorce, 100%. If I played WoW as much as I wanted to, my wife would divorce me. Oscar, you're on the right point. That is something I will cover. I'll write that somewhere here or later in stream. I am going to be discussing Phase 5, Xalatath, and what Chris Metzen's plan of the War Within, and Phase 5 and Classic Plus means. Because Xalatath is in game right now. The shadowy quest lines you do for your armor, your crafting recipes, that's Xalatath. You're awakening Xalatath. In retail, the law for Xalatath is adventurers let Xalatath out. When? Xalatath has been let out since goddamn Classic, and we're letting Xalatath out right now. That's a different thing. I'm going to discuss that later. Don't let me forget, because my chat's pretty consistent. But if I do forget to discuss it before the end of the stream, let me know. And I'll dedicate maybe a section of next stream, or, you know, for whatever, to Xalatath being how they're connecting Classic to retail and the War Within. Because I have a whole fucking theory about this. It's actually nutty. I wasn't sure if I want to make a YouTube video about that one or do a stream about the Xalatath retail connection. That's something I'll have to think about. But nonetheless, Sunken Temple, new raid. Could it be? Could the new raid be Scarlet Crusade? I hope to fucking God, yes. Sally Whiteman needs to come back. We need to actually have an interesting reason to go into this. Make some new lore about it. Make it fun. Make it exciting. There's so much lore. There's so much to do. So much money to be made. Plus, actually, holy fuck, I'm a genius. Listen to this. The Scarlet Crusade has something to do in the War Within because of lore. They said it. The Scarlet Crusade is going to have some, well, not the War Within, I think it's meant to be the one after. Not the War Within, the Midnight one is meant to have the Scarlet Crusade because the Void and Silver Moon and all that stuff. So they could tie Scarlet Crusade in Classic to Scarlet Crusade in retail and have that connection just be intermingling and actually high quality. Will they? I don't know about that. Can you explain why you think Classic Plus comes after SOD? What if SOD is Classic Plus? SOD cannot be Classic Plus because Adrian has already said that SOD is going to end. He said this in an interview. It's legitimately worded, like he said, I don't remember exactly what it said, but essentially, as a seasonal content, it will eventually end. We have plans for what comes next, whether that's new seasons or what it is. He didn't go into detail about it. It was just during an interview, somebody asked a question and he explained in loose terms what comes next. So we're getting Season of Discovery Era Service, and then we're getting Classic Plus. Now, could he change his mind? Could Season of Discovery keep going and then it doesn't stop? So we just keep getting Season of Discovery Phase 5, Phase 6, Phase 7, Phase 8, Phase 10, whatever. Yes, there's technically a chance that can happen, but the likelihood of it is so low that I would not put money on it. You could think that would happen, but the Season of Discovery moniker alone makes it that the player base has expectations of an end. I know a lot of people that don't even want to play SOD because they think it's going to end. They're going to lose all their characters, lose all their progress. What can we expect from official Classic Plus though? That's a difficult question. That's what the other side is about. Phase 4 and onwards ties into what could be, what should be, what will be. Phase 4 sets the bedrock of what will come in Classic Plus. Because if Phase 4 has Karazhan, if there's a Karazhan in Phase 4, so if we're over here in Phase 4, it means they have the resources and manpower to actually give us unique original content, which means Chris Metzen has approved a larger dev team for Classic. Now, Karazhan also decides how high quality Season of Discovery 2 or Classic Plus will be. So, let me grab this. I'm gonna wipe this out so I have more board space. Okay. So, looking at this, if Karazhan is the raid for Phase 4, that means the budget is there, the development manpower is there, the team is there. That then ties into what comes after Karazhan. Because we already know that a single 20-man raid or 10-man raid is not enough. The developers have the information that 6 weeks is as long as a single phase can last when it's 3-day. I thought Chris Metzen ran the team. Am I wrong? I thought it was Chris Metzen that ran the entire team instead of Harley. Because I thought that's what Chris Metzen came back as. Did he only come back as creative director? I thought he came back as the lead of all of World of Warcraft. I could be wrong. It's whatever, it doesn't matter. Whoever approves it. If we get Karazhan, it means the development budget of Season of Discovery and Classic Plus is massive. How massive? Depends on the quality of this. If we don't get Karazhan, it means either they don't have money or they're saving it for Classic Plus. So without Karazhan as a baseline for me to see, I can't tell you what the budget is. Creative Director of Retail? Okay, interesting, Cody, thank you. Executive Creative Director of the Warcraft universe. Okay, so he makes all the shots for lore, story, gameplay, etc. It all has to go through Chris Metzen. So, lore-wise, Agron still answers to Chris, but Agron's his own person. Gameplay-wise, Agron can do whatever the fuck he wants, so long as he doesn't mess with the lore and so long as Chris Metzen gives him a thumbs up. Karazhan. As I'm saying, this is the benchmark for Season of Discovery's quality. Dire Maul, I left over there because, well, that's part of the many things that could be. Dire Maul has 3 wings. If we get a Crusader dungeon, a Crusader raid, that could mean Dire Maul would have a bigger chance. But because of the way it's split up, if they don't find a way to merge that content to a singular instance in Classic, they won't do Dire Maul because it's too much effort. It's why Phase 4 is one of these. And it's why I put money over here saying Scarlet Crusade is Phase 3 second raid. Could it be wrong? Could it be no Scarlet Crusade and Phase 3, the new thing could be something random? No, that is true. Hey, they did say that Season of Discovery will not change the lore. It will expand upon the lore that wasn't covered. So none of this is against the law. Everything you see here is accurate. No matter how much they change, it is still accurate. Because Medivh's Tower and Karazhan being delved, Karazhan Crypts, has no effect on Karazhan TBC or any of the other things. Phase 3 release date. Let's go back to the other side. Let me grab the black marker. Where is it? Here it is. April 11th or April 18th. That's the release date. That right there is the release date for Phase 3. Let me just do Phase 3 up here. So, that doesn't actually look very good. Let me expand it on. Phase 3, there we go, that's better. April 11th or 18th. Big bets. The only reason I'm saying we're getting 2 raids is because they've done the math. Like I said, I've talked to Agron and he didn't leak anything. He's a really cool guy. I have mad respect for Agron. But he said there is a massive amount of things they have planned. And he hopes everyone enjoys it as much as they have. What does that mean? If they have massive plans, and they have big news and big reveals and big plans, and it's a single raid, I'd be kind of disappointed because a single raid and an expansion of STV isn't enough content. As I'm saying, the player base is... We're all classic players here. You know what, chat, be honest. Answer this for me. If we got Sunken Temple as the single raid and just new rewards from STV, how long would you play? Would any of you play more than 6 weeks? How many of you would stop playing to play other games? Most of you. Pretty much everyone in chat would stop before 6 weeks if all we got was one raid and just the expansion of STV. See, Akon, he didn't clarify. He has massive plans for Season of Discovery. And massive plans for Season of Discovery, with how quiet they've been on Phase 2, it has to be 2 raids. Everything here, except this stuff over here, this stuff would be cool, but this stuff isn't necessary. This stuff could be Phase 4 or Phase 5. That and this need to be in the game. And we need fishing stuff, we need profession stuff, we need new stuff. So I always say this announced Phase 3. Like I said, they had to delay the Phase 3 announcement because Plunderstorm. And Plunderstorm had a lot of negative reception. So Plunderstorm's negative reception wasn't Classic's fault. But the retail player base, like I said before, no matter how good Plunderstorm is, at the end of the day, it's Plunderstorm. As a WoW player, you want WoW content, more stuff, more permanence, more permeance, more stuff. So just getting a Battle Royale kind of ticked a lot of people the wrong way. And if they had announced Phase 3 for Classic at the same time, the retail player base would have fucking rioted. The retail player base would have been griefing the forums, yelling, wow, look at the difference between dev teams. The Classic player base keeps getting more and more cool stuff and you give us a fucking Battle Royale? That's why they delayed it by a week. So the information's coming next Tuesday. Next Tuesday's stream is going to be legit. It's going to be exciting. We're all going to have a massively good time. I know Alterac Valley is Phase 4, by the way, at JM. Because Alterac Valley is coded to be level 51. I don't know how, I don't think they can actually change the code of AV without breaking AV. Because AV didn't get redone until Cataclysm. AV stayed 51 and TBC stayed 51 and Wrath of the Lich King. They can't actually change AV's code without breaking the game files, I'm pretty sure. New Zone could be. I talked about this before, but that's a Phase 4 thing. If anybody didn't see it, my previous stream on Tuesday, I covered Hyjal. Mount Hyjal is completely finished. Top to bottom. There is a raid instance in there. They have the dungeon locations in there. They have the pathing, the locations. Everything about Hyjal is finished except quests, NPCs, and mobs. If they add quests, NPCs, and mobs, Hyjal's insanely easy to fill out. But I think that's a Phase 4, 5, or 6 thing. Or maybe even just a Classic Plus thing. New zones can be added, Parker, because a lot of the old content is actually in the game. All they need to do is fix it. So, before they even have to start designing new content, all they need to do is finish the content in-game. Hyjal, the tunnels under AQ, it won't change the lore of AQ, the lore in the game. Because fixing Cataclysm fixing Hyjal doesn't change the lore in Cataclysm. Cataclysm's lore is that nothing happened in Cataclysm until Deathwing woke up. There's no lore going for or against anything they can do in Classic. Anything they do in Classic Plus or Season of Discovery can be A-okayed into the lore. So, no matter how you look at it, you're fine. It doesn't screw up the lore to add things or finish things. We likely will be getting more world bosses. I'm pretty sure I saw that there's going to be 3 world bosses from what I saw. Level 40, singular thing. So it's going to be Kazakh and the Green Dragons, I think. Maybe they'll add a new one. Because adding a new world boss isn't difficult. Pick a location, add a mob. give it high scaling, don't let it be kited. Easy peasy. Now you have world PvP, now you have massive events that work. A genre creator would be sick. That's a lot of work on their part. They should do it. It absolutely is worth it for them to do a genre creator. But will they is a different question. Do you think by next Tuesday they'll release the preview of Phase 3? Yes. Next Tuesday will be Phase 3. Have I been given behind the scenes stuff? No. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. Can't say. This over here though, is mostly just breaking down what the developers have said, looking at it analytically, and basing your information off of the facts that you can see rather than the maybes that you can't. And like I said, they've shared a lot with us. They've given us, the player base, and us content creators, a lot to go off of. Next week is going to be the announcement. Let me see. Where can I write this? Blue post equals next Tuesday. So the blue post is next. The fuck is this writing on, man? I swear to God. So the announcement is next Tuesday, which then leads into this, which then leads into them announcing all the content and potentially even unveiling this shit. So, this is how it has to be. We can't get more information officially until they announce the blue post. The blue post will announce the release date. The release date will show us what's coming. Everything else is a guess. And Acon, no, they've already done the math on it. They see the metrics. Agron's even said that the major concern for the player base is not enough content. He's tweeted this shit out. He's actually looked at he actually, like, Agron sees the analytics. He sees all the data. He sees all the information. All people want is more content. That is it. They don't want anything else but more content. Exactly. But the difference between private servers and like the solid official dev team is they have to go through corporate jargon, corporate red tape, corporate bullshit. So could Agron do way more if he had the time? Probably. But yeah, no, alts aren't exactly like a good metric what the player base does. Agron looks at the raw player base's numbers. Not as many people as you guys think level alts. Exactly. People just want more content. So the blue post next Tuesday will get the release date, which is, I'm personally leaning to April 18th. Because April 18th ends up making more sense personally. But then that leads into one raid or two raids and what they're doing with the new PvP. Is it going to be STV Part 2? Is it going to be Hinterlands STV expansion? I could have designed Phase 2 probably 2 weeks, by the way. You could have, but would Blizzard Corporate let you? That's what you guys are missing out on. Is Blizzard is a corporation beholden to executives and then beholden to Microsoft. Private server devs can do whatever the fuck they want. There's nothing to stop them. I want to add a new zone. I want to add a new event. I want to add a new thing, and they can just go ahead and do that. Official developers don't have that luxury, because again, legitimate marketing might say, actually, you can't release your stuff right now. We think Plunderstorm's going to make a lot of money. And because Plunderstorm's making a lot of money, you have to be pushed back. And you can't say anything. Legitimate marketing tells you what to do. Because marketing makes money. You as developers cost money. A developer is an expense. Marketing is income. People have to realize that. So this shit here, we gotta wait for that to lead to this, to lead to that, to lead to that, and then hopefully this shit up here. Well, what do you guys think? I know I do a lot of copium regardless, but this is broken down in a properly analytical way. Everything I've discussed here has evidence and reasoning behind it. The evidence and reasoning is the metrics. And metrics lead to corporations making decisions. That's all corporate decisions are. Which analytics make us the most money? Adding an extra raid for increased retention is nothing for Blizzard expenses. Why? Do you think Blizzard is doing too much for their player base? Right now, there are so many forms of WoW. Not even close. Not even close. There's like 6 million WoW subs. 3 million don't touch Classic. 3 million don't touch Retail. No, actually, 2 million play only Retail. 2 million play only Classic. 2 million don't actually play the game. They just won't unsubscribe because of some weird reason they want to keep their sub running. For no reason other than I like WoW. I play 3 minutes a month. Feels like Phase 2 is delayed to polish the problems of Phase 2 and the introduction of new members to the team. They're working really hard to make the content more linear instead of making us wait. And that is a good point, Oscar. They could have... Plum the Storm might not have been the reason they delayed the Blue Post. They could have delayed the Blue Post to make sure the 2 raids work, or the new stuff they have planned works, the new professions, the new customization, the new skill books. All this stuff could tie into things. But 2 raids are needed. I'm telling this to everybody in chat. Everyone that comes by, everyone that watches. 1 raid is not enough. If they release a singular raid again, we're going to be back in Phase 2 all over again. The problems of Phase 2 and the problem at the end of Phase 1 is the lack of content. There needs to be more. But what could the new raid be? The focus is there, but you have to realize that Microsoft's concern sorry, I had the burp. Microsoft's concern is more people, more subs, more content for Game Pass and the new Microsoft Store. Because there's a new Microsoft Store coming out. They're literally, if you look at the FTC leaks, they're merging Battle.net with the Xbox Store. We're going to get this massive new Game Pass version of content. Raphael, I would like to say you're right, but you're wrong because people just want more content. It doesn't have to be hard. Maybe the plan is to release ST with 6 bosses and another one with maybe 3 or 4 bosses. Only thing I can think of is that they wanted SM Raid to be in Phase 2, but it got delayed. And see, that is the thing, Big Bear. That could be the thing, because at BlizzCon, they teased Scarlet Raid, but it didn't make it. So what can they do? $10-man, 3-day lockout. Intro raid. New raid. 20-man. 7-day. Yeah. Part 2. 6 weeks in. So essentially, what does this mean? What have I just written on the board? Yeah, it probably is Scarlet Hall. And then I think of it that they wanted SM. Yeah, no, so let's call it Scarlet Halls, right? Sunken Temple is a 10-man raid, 3-day lockout. It's the intro raid. We have Sunken Temple for 6 weeks, being the only raid you can do for 6 weeks. Then halfway through the phase, they unlock the second raid, which is a 20-man, a 7-day lockout, and part 2. 6 weeks into the phase. Think about it. It makes a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things. Me too, hate. I want to explore it as well. I actually want to explore Sally Whitemane to my heart's content. No, I get you, Raphael. I completely understand that you have to sacrifice to raid. But that's why this would make more sense. Your guild has to pick. Do you raid the new 20-man, which is a 7-day lockout, on your 1 day, and then on your second raid day, you just do Sunken Temple once? And that's what most people are going to end up doing. Most people are going to do Sunken Temple until the new raid comes out, and then the Sunken Temple raid is now just for alts, for gear farming, for split runs, whatever you want to do it. Yeah, they probably will reduce the reputation grinds, by the way. So keep in mind that the grinding for reputations will probably get lowered or nerfed for Warsong and AB. So everyone that grind Warsong and AB, I'm sorry to say, but STV Part 2's reward is probably going to be AB or Warsong Gulch tokens or whatever you want to call it. Agra needs to give us thighs. This shit needs to be Scarlet Halls, Sally Whitemane's return, and her thigh crush ability. Just do it, Agrand. Just do it. Like Nike always says. Just do it. But yeah, no, so this is the logic behind it. Not enough content for the second half of the phase. Interest falls off in the first half. You know, let's break it down as if this was like a 3-minute video. I am going to break it all down very quickly. We're starting from the beginning. The problem with Season of Discovery is that in Season of Discovery, the player base runs out of content about 6 weeks into a phase. So what does that mean? Well, 6 weeks into a phase, you have done BFD or Noma or whatever the raid is to your heart's content, farmed it aggressively, and now you're bored, you're tired, you want more stuff to do. Maybe you're not a PvPer, so the STV event isn't for you, or Ashen Veil wasn't for you. So you have nothing else to do. When you have nothing else to do, instead of playing more alts, more content, more this, more that, you are more likely to put the game down and pick up a different game or a different activity to partake in. So, for interest to be kept at a maximum, they have to divide the content and give people a reason to stay excited for the second 4 to 6 weeks of a phase. If we get 6 weeks of Sunken Temple, that means you have 6 weeks to prepare for the new raid. And then that is 6 more weeks of content before phase 4. Which means even if you don't like PvP, you don't have to do STV Part 2. You can if you want, but it's not a necessity. You can just do STV, a little bit here and there, and focus on your PvE content. If you do like playing WoW 8 to 10 hours a day, that then means you can now actually do STV. You can do both the raids. You can play multiple alts, and you have an excess amount of content. If you're a casual player, you don't have to play all the stuff. You can play what you want to play, because there is so much content for you to access. Now, if they want to go extra hard, extra content, they release heroic dungeons, so you can keep grinding stuff in between your raids. You don't want to only raid 4 hours a week and maybe PvP 2, you want to do stuff on alt or whatever. Heroic dungeons and Titan runes to incentivize tanks and healers to tank and heal, so that people run heroic dungeons to get those Titan runes. And then boom, look at that. Within a 12-week period, you have so much content to do that you cannot be bored. Now, I'm going to cut that there because that's actually a really good clip. I might actually clip that and upload that to a second channel or some shit. I don't fucking know. Other content creators do it. Why can't Evan? If you do 3 raids with 1 week cooldown, I agree. Looking from a perspective, I have only 3 hours a day to play, but I understood the vision of people that play 12 hours daily. Why would they release so soon? What's the problem if you're done with the phase, just raid lock and quit till next phase? So let me explain that to everybody. The reason it's not a bad thing to raid log and quit. The problem is there's a large portion of people that only play WoW and they want more stuff to do in WoW. They don't want to feel pressured into doing everything. They just want more content. So you have to give the player base more content. If a casual player is raid logging or they're done, that's cool. Even as a hardcore player, if you want to raid log, that is also cool. Having 2 raids doesn't mean you can't raid log. It just means you have that option to keep playing or to raid log. If you're geared at Sunken Temple and you're bored and you're done, you don't have to do new raids. You don't have to do the second raid. You can just be like, I'm already done, I'm geared enough that when phase 4 comes by, I'll be fine. And that's cool. That's the benefit of having more content, is that if you want to play more, you can play more. But not having enough, you don't even have that option. Your option only becomes raid log and quit. For the rest of the players who just want to keep playing, having more content means you can consistently play more content, do more things. It gives you that benefit of the doubt to do all that stuff. Does that make more sense? Because that's what I'm trying to explain, is that this isn't about forcing you to play. This is about giving you the option and luxury of being able to play if you choose to. Even if you only have 3 hours a day to play, or 2 hours a day to play, or 1 hour a day to play, you can still run Sunken Temple in an hour, just like my Noma raid is 50 minutes. I raid Noma in what, 42 minutes, 43 minutes is my average Noma. I then raid log for the rest of the week. If I had 2 raids, I'd be raid logging twice. On Tuesday, I would do my Sunken Temple. On Thursday, I'd do my new raid, and then I would raid log. But if STV is 2 parts, so there's more places for you to farm and grind stuff, that's more hours I play. If there's heroic dungeons, that's more content I can grind and play. Titan runes, boom shakalaka, I'm tanking on my bear, tanking on my warlock, healing on my druid, tanking on my rogue, giving myself a reason to play and do more. More content is not a crutch to force you to play. It is the benefit of being able to play. And that's my standpoint. Yeah, we need new rep grinds. We absolutely will get some. Tanking Druid is copium, but it's coming. God, please make tanking Druid a better. What would Titan runes be? Titan runes are goodie bags that you get for completing a dungeon as a tank or a healer. So if you finish a dungeon, if you tank a dungeon, if you tank a dungeon as a tank, or you heal a dungeon as a healer, a heroic dungeon, by the way, not just regular heroic, you get potions like health pots, mana pots. You get like an elixir to drink in raids. It gives you your content, so you as a tank don't have to struggle in the open world farming. You can farm in dungeons to get your consumables. If you want to sell your consumables, you can also do that, but it gives you a thing to do. Raphael, that could be the way they do it. That could genuinely be how they do it. But let's see what Big Verse said. More rep grinds, 100%. More long quests that are super expensive, like Paladin 60 Mount Quest or Scepter Quest. More outdoor open area. Ding, ding, ding. On the head, you're 100% correct. So let's see here. I'll put this right there. We need reputation. We need reputations. Epic quest line. And we need open world PvE. I don't have space left to right, so I'm not going to, but that's also on the board. I chose the smaller board, but I honestly should have gone for the bigger board. I should have gone for the bigger board. If launch Sunken Temple on day 1 and you went, yep, absolutely. What is your opinion on dual spec in phase 3? Dual spec is either going to be this right here, It's either going to be an epic quest line for a dual spec, or it's going to be a massive gold thing. So you might be looking at a You might be looking at a 500 gold stink for dual spec. Might be 250, might be 200, might be whatever they want to call it. But there probably will be a gold sink, and it's either, again, gold sink or epic questline. I don't know what they're going to do. It could be either. I just don't know what direction they're leaning with this shit. I think we should focus on loot more. I raided the guild and clear from week 1, and I never saw a Pamela, cast a stringer, cast a dagger. That's the reason it's 20 man, Giacomo. Like I have won 3 pieces of loot since phase 2 launched in 7 weeks or 6 weeks, however long it's been. Yeah, so dual spec was 1k in TBC. Now 1k for the classic player base, on top of having to farm 1k for your epic mount, and then 1k for for dual spec, that is nutty. Will you even be able to? But TBC also just pays you more gold for a quest. So I don't know how they're gonna do it exactly. That is the one thing I can't even predict, because there's so many ways they could go about it. There are fun ways, easier ways for the player base as a whole that's more enjoyable, aka dual spec. Then there are other ways which is not as fun, not as well, just not as interesting, which is gold sync, right there. Shit. Trying to move my finger to point where I'm pointing based off of the camera is kind of difficult. That is the thing as well, Akon. It could lead to a massive amount of gold buying, but they've been banning gold buyers like by the boatload. So I don't know. I don't know if it will be a gold sink. I mean a gold sink. It just 500's too much. I think it should be 250, but I don't know exactly what they're going to do. And that's the thing. If people are saving gold for their epic mount, they might make people spend their gold on dual spec, so that you have to start farming gold again in phase 3 for phase 4. Like I said, there are ways they can do it. Big Zugger, I agree, but that doesn't mean they won't be there. Just because 250 gold is attainable doesn't mean it's just because a giant gold sink sounds bad doesn't mean they won't do it. I get you, Godman. Like legit, I just want you guys to know this. I am down to my last 35 gold because I have not had fucking time to play this stupid game because I make content. Like legit, if I could actually stream the game and just play World of Warcraft and farm gold, that would be one thing. That would be one thing. I don't play WoW when I stream. In the 6 streams I've done, the 7 streams, whatever, I've played WoW for an hour of that, like 15, 16 hours of streaming. Because all I do is make content. Imagine trying to do this shit while you're playing the game at the same time. It's impossible. Like, I'm not a gold buyer, but if anybody wants to donate to the Ebonheart Gold Fund, so I'm not a fucking poor plebeian, I would appreciate that shit. Yeah, no, my viewership was nutty. I went from 15 viewers to 30 viewers to 40 viewers to 100 viewers to 140 viewers. And I'm at 70 right now, but I've only been an hour into stream. I don't know. I don't know where the viewerships come from. I don't think I don't know how high quality my stream is. It could be high, it could be low, but like No, I play a druid, Draken. I play a druid. So no, I don't have a shaman. I am leveling a shaman, but I don't have a shaman yet. We are all Blizzard employees, group. Yeah, absolutely, man. Suggestion, but what about some kind of world quest like BFA? Not the same style, but kinda. Classic Plus. Because one thing they discovered is that daily quests are valuable, but it needs to be done in a specific way so it doesn't go the way of Wrath and onwards. So to keep daily quests fun, they have to redesign daily quests in zones and questing that is fun and interactive for the player base. So it's not easy to do, but it's something they should do for Classic Plus. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. I'm trying to give you guys the highest quality stream I can. So if you all enjoy this, I'm gonna keep doing this shit. What do you think will happen with attunements in Phase 5? They're probably going to tweak attunements to be more easy, or just have a secondary attunement that's easier to accomplish. Draken, I don't think it's going to be daily quests as in something you have to do or you're missing out. But it's probably going to be something like, if you do this, you make a decent amount of gold, or you get a bit of reputation, or it's for people who don't want to just grind 3 billion times. The daily quest could even just be tied into this shit. Reputations. They could make several new reputations that are just daily grinds you do. If you don't do it on one day, that's okay. Come back and do it a different day. Might take you a little bit longer, but you can still unlock the bonus content. Hey, look at this new colored mount. Hey, look at this new colored transmog. Hey, look at this really nifty recipe I unlocked. They can do reputations that are tied into daily quests. But again, they have to see what the player base likes and do it based off of that. If they do it based off of random content that the people don't give a shit about, it won't be as good. So they do need to increase the value they provide with the daily quests to make it better. Yeah, Cody's not wrong. Even with this much content, a lot of guilds will do all of this in one day. Well, you'll do Sunken Temple in 1 hour, and then you'll do the other raid in an hour and a half, and boom, 2.5 hour raid days. Easy peasy done. Draken, that's a valid point. Instead of weekly quests, they could give you instead of daily quests, they could give you 5 weekly quests. And 5 weekly quests could lead into a situation of you have a whole week to do your 5 quests. Whether you do all 5 quests in one day, whether you do them 1 a day, whether you do 2 one day, take a break, and do 3 the other day. Any news on phallic content? Elat, I'm sorry. The only phallic content I have is my desire for Sally Whitemane. Weekly quests are much better than daily. They are. I do understand that. So it is a better way to do it. And Akon, we're not sure. Like I said, I'm gonna do a question mark here. Is Sunken Temple 20 man or 10 man? Regardless, we need a second raid anyways. It can't be 1 raid. Regardless of the raid size, it needs to be 2 raids. Absolutely, only Thigh content. We probably are getting expanded upon new class quests. That probably is happening. That's pretty much a guarantee, guys. Like, I don't want to lie. I'm pretty guaranteed on the fact that we are getting a newly designed class quest for Sunken Temple. And because every class has Sunken Temple quest lines, they need to revamp them. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of 100% they need to be revamped to be in line with the quest with the raid rewards. Because the raid rewards are going to be 15 times better than the class quest rewards. So they need to increase the value and quality of every class's class quest. It's not a matter of they might do it, they have to do it. Like, this is pretty much a guarantee. How much will they change them? I don't know. Will it be a whole new massive quest line? Probably not. Will it be improved rewards? Probably. I think all that's going to change is improved rewards. I won't lie to everybody. I'm going to be very upfront with all of you. I think we're literally only getting improved rewards. No matter how you look at it. Yeah, see? They're going to rework them. But how? And Parker, I am not answering that question because Princess Theradras, you see my office? Let me put it to you guys like this. That's a very polite way of saying the other word. Tali is thick, Theradras is big. Now, if you are into that, you know what? I gotta watch my words. I am at the size where I'm becoming clippable. So, I gotta be careful with what I say. Because I know there are a lot of people who hate admin and WoW creators and think you're sexist, fatphobic, homophobic, whatever. So, I don't want to get lumped for what I want to say about this and it instantly become the new hate target. So, big is the word I'm going to use here. She big as fuck. So Sally Whitemane, thick. Sally Whitemane, goddamn. The things I would do in if I was in World of Warcraft, like, I understand why the Crusades happen IRL. Like the Scarlet Crusade, I'd lead that shit for Sally. Mograine, get the fuck out the way. It could be Mara. It could be. I refuse to be cancelled. You could only cancel somebody if they allow themselves to be cancelled. And I refuse to be cancelled. She drops a purple. They might actually buff her purple, by the way. Oh yeah, something to keep in mind, all the items from the next few phases of dungeons is going to get redone. So all those items are getting redone and changed. My hot take is I miss the old tier system in BFD instead of 10 people always rolling against you for every tier piece. That's a fair point, Cody. They changed that because so many people were losing gear. Like there was so much gear being DE'd or just like greed rolled because nobody needed it. The token system is better. There just needs to be more loot. Yeah, the Blade of Eternal Darkness is getting a buff. It's going to be a much better weapon. So, Maraudon, Zul'Farrak, like, what's the item called from Zul'Farrak? The two blades where you combine them and you get the shitty purple? Does anybody remember that weapon's name? I forget the weapon's name. It's, what is the sword called? I forget the sword's name, but... I forget the sword's name, but the Zul'Farrak sword is going to be way better. Zul'Thras, there we go. Zul'Thras is going to be way better. I don't think we're prepared for what's coming. Oh no. No, Kyle, we're not prepared at all. Is it Kile or Kyle? They need to rework the loot and get male users on male and plate users on plate. Sang and Jang protecting the Deflector, Zul'Thras. Yeah. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Zul'Thras the Thrasher. It's got a cool name. They're gonna make that shit incredible. Oh yeah, something I actually want to talk about while we're here. And let me delete this so people that come in don't just clip this out of context. We are getting the first new legendary in phase 4. You want to see me get cancelled? Kyle, yeah, that's what I thought. Phase 4, we're getting the first new legendary because they've already said we're getting a new legendary in the game. They didn't specify, but I assume the legendary quest line starts. I don't know if it's multiple, but where's the blue one? It might be multiple, but stay safe reacting might help. Well, if somebody clips it, there'll be a clip of it. But like I don't post my shit nowhere aside from my own YouTube channel. We are getting new legendaries in phase 4. What will that legendary be? You say rogue dagger, but you do know how many classes can use daggers, right? Druids can use daggers. Warriors can use daggers. Warlocks and mages can use daggers. Priests? Can priests use daggers? Wait, did you actually clip it? Link above. Link where? I see no link. And look, there's multiple classes that can use daggers. Wait, hunters can use daggers? I'm not surprised, honestly. With all these legendaries in game. Yeah, no priest, no pally, but everybody else essentially. Can you imagine they add a dagger? Elat, I don't like how you wrote that. You're right, but I don't like the wording you used. Because the wording you used makes me sound creepy as fuck. But you're not wrong. Rogue class, lock dagger, let's go. I think priests can use dagger. No, they can't. I don't know, whatever, I'm not sure. Loot drama is good for the game. Can you imagine the next legendary can be used by 6 fucking classes? And the no, random hero, I'm sorry brother, we're not getting news till next, next Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's next Tuesday we'll get the blue post. Unless they delayed the blue post by 2 days. If it's just 2 days, we'd get one, but I don't think so. Okay, so fuck paladins. The next legendary is a dagger that everybody can use. It could also be that, Big Bear. It could be something that everybody uses. But the way I look at it and the way I'm thinking is that the next raid, the next legendary, could be used by everybody. Like the next legendary could literally be a proc effect that procs off everyone's abilities. Can I get credit if this gets announced? If what gets announced? Yeah, you know what, Draken? I'll shout you out. If the next legendary... Let's see. What? Oh, I don't have fucking space. Let's go over here. Dagger. Okay. It's a dagger. Could be. I don't know. But it'll be funny if it is. If it is, it would be funny. So the cloak from MOP, it could just be like that too. BP. Would love to see a legendary questline that has multiple rewards. For example, 3 different daggers with different stats, options being tank, caster, melee, healer. I would love to see polearm legendary items personally. That could be cool. Neck or trinket? I'm not sure. The preset should have visible thighs in the Scarlet raid, 100%. I agree. Hands down, best thing you've said all day. Will Thunder Fury and Hand of Rag get updated? Yes, they've already said they will. So we are already getting updated old legendaries. So Thunder Fury, Hand of Rag. We might actually get the original necklace back. Yeah, no, the dagger is insane. Like our main tank shaman has the claw, and our hunter has the claw, and they both gotta use it because goddamn, that's 6% extra DPS. Yeah, boy. If I win some loot next Noma, my Noma is tonight, by the way. If I win, I'm going to win all the rolls. I can feel it in my blood. I am going to win all the rolls. 90%. Oh, that's a huge uptime. Yeah, every item is getting an update. So every dungeon, phase 3 and onwards is getting a full item revamp. Not every item will be revamped, but every dungeon will have revamped items, revamped rewards, revamped drops, BOEs, whatever you want to call it. How much of that dungeon will be revamped is undetermined, but every single dungeon will be revamped. I think it's in nearly all items. Yes, it absolutely will be. But I have a question for chat. Let me pull back because I'm literally right in you guys' face. Let me go back here. I believe BRD will be locked in phase 3. Thoughts? It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if they lock BRD, but it could be. What do we think is happening in the PvP event for phase 3? Can we make enchantment that makes Crusader not Biss that powder is hot trash to farm? Nah, good luck. They're gonna buff Crusader. Crusader is getting fucking buffed. Good luck, everybody. You thought you could get away from Crusader? Nah, they're gonna force Crusader to be a thing because Crusader is iconic. They could do that. They could make it so that the Hakar event is blood coins and the new version is gold coins or pirate coins or doubloons for the pirate version. Yeah, I hope not, Harris. That'd be funny, but no. I'm going to, as the de facto voice of Copium in Classic SOD, I am saying no to Plunderstorm Classic Edition. You have been vetoed. Keep that shit out of my fucking game mode. Maybe they'll add ore drops to the open world, Tears Hand and Hearthburn. They could. It's mostly going to be an interesting facet of how they implement it and how they do it. I don't know the exacts of it. I'm gonna grab a water bottle real quick. Chat, I want to show you guys something. Axel, come here. Come here, pup. Come here. Say hi to chat. Say hi to chat. Who is the good boy? Yes, he is. Let me move my chair out the way. This is my cute boy, Axel. He is the cutest puppy. Yes, you are. This is my doggo. Okay, let me see. I hope they'll move it around, multiple zones going at the same time. So more parts of the world are used and also infrastructure issues. Still using the SM library trinket. I'm not using the SM library trinket. You spelt my name wrong. It's ARDT. German. version of Ebonheart. So, you know, it's what it is. Show minibar. Water at the bottom with protein shakes, Mountain Dew in the middle, Sprite and Coke, then Aquafina and Coke to stock it back up. And I have more Mountain Dew in my cupboard behind me. Every time I see a dog, I miss my good boy. Dogs are great. Hi, new to your channel. What do you think about Shadow Priest? Any suggestions for runes to come? Hi, too biased. So I'll explain Shadow Priest in a second. They likely will make the STB event a global event. My personal theory is we are getting STB event version 2 in the hinterlands. What does that mean? So the STB event in the hinterlands will be a repeat of the event, except instead of getting blood coins, you get Gurubashi or like sacrifice tokens or things like that. I'm not sure exactly what you'll get, but it's probably going to be a second currency, and all the PvP events will be staggered. So 1 hour apart each. Capture the flag, then base assault Ashnell. Yeah, it could be. It could literally be the center of STV. Alliance and Horde have to rush there, get the flag, and get the flag back to your side. Or it could be 40-man raids competing with each other, everyone's fighting, bloodbath. I don't know what they'll do, it'll be interesting. But several zones are perfectly primed for an Oscar. And too biased, let me explain Shadow Priest to you. Shadow Priest is in a really good spot, and Shadow Priest will likely only keep getting stronger and stronger. They've already buffed Shadow Priest runes for next phase a few times. What will they do exactly to make Shadow Priest even better? Debatable. We haven't unlocked every Dalamine rune yet, but the runes we have unlocked cover the Shadow Priest weak points. So Shadow Word Death is your strongest word, but they have improved Shadow Word Pain, every other ability you have, Mind Blast, everything out about a Shadow Priest is getting a big buff, except Shadow Word Death. So the Shadow Priests are in a great spot for next phase. Do you think that phase 2 is a sort of a lull in the game and phase 3 will be better? Seems like there'll be more content in phase 3, potentially 2 raids, BRD, and maybe even heroics. So I think phase 2, they did the math and analytics and chose to continue it as a lull phase to build up the infrastructure for STV and going forward, to build up what players liked, what they didn't like, get more information, because they've already said every phase is an experiment. Every single phase in Season of Discovery is going to be an experiment to make a better game mode. What is the better game mode? Classic Plus. They're not admitting that, then they won't admit it out loud, but that's what they're planning. So phase 3 is going to have a lot of things, all being experiments to see what the player base likes, doesn't like, hates, loves, and implement that more going forward. Doesn't Shadow scale poorly? Nope, Shadow does big DPS right now. Is it as good as Mage and Warlock? No, but Shadow will keep scaling thanks to their rune combinations, each building off of each other. King of the Hill would absolutely be cool. You think they'll bring tree form to Druid? Maybe we might get a healing form for healers of the rune, so you unlock tree form, which gives like 10% extra healing or something like that. It could come. I'm not sure how they'll put it, but if it does come, it'll be in the form of a rune, mind you. I would like a new PvP type of event for Horde vs Alliance again, but they can... no. I do think they will do Capture the Flag or King of the Hill or something like that. I just don't know how well they'll implement it or how they'll implement it. But they finally fixed the SCV lag issues. So now that they have the server infrastructure done properly, the next event likely won't be as laggy. SOD has way more developers now. Because Akron runs Cataclysm and SOD. So the combination of both of them, with a bigger team, with a bigger everything, it will probably increase the amount of content, the amount of stuff we see, we get to experience, and all that stuff going forward. How effectively will they implement it? I don't know. Like I said, it's a matter of how much manpower was pulled towards Cataclysm versus how much is working on Phase 3. And we don't know. Yeah, those 1k abilities will get nerfed. We're probably getting a 30% nerf straight to... We're probably getting a 30% PvP nerf as a rune or just as the baseline thing into the game. Maybe as a PvP trinket, so all PvP damage is nerfed by 30%. However they do it, they'll fix it. Nerfing shamans will help with Q. Yeah, shamans make playing around fun. You go in as a shaman and you just get obliterated. Like playing against the shaman comp as horde is just like go fuck yourself. Kamehameha essentially. And give me snake form to go back to Wailing Cavern. Snake form could be cool. Like I said, there's so much they can do. But we just have to wait and see, sadly. It's going to take a while for them to properly implement all the little things. Hell. Sorry. One of my friends just DM'd me going, get off my home page. I don't even like WoW. Because I showed up on his WoW homepage. On his YouTube homepage, and I just chuckled at it. STV's been in a much better spot. I know they've been fixing the server infrastructure problems a lot, so it's much better for the game overall. I hope they do an endgame PvP event phase 4 that incentivizes the factions to attack other capital cities. They might. They might have something called City Siege or World Siege or something like that, where you have like a huge location that you have to defend, and the other faction has to besiege it. And whichever side can hold off wins. Or like if you break in and capture the flag inside or kill the leader inside. I don't think they're going to do a city attack. So keep in mind, 99% chance no city attack. Pretty healthy chance we get a better version of AV in the open world. It might be like the Arathi Basin map, where the Alliance has to attack the Arathi hub, and the Horde has to attack like Stromgarde or something like that, vice versa. Again, that's a big iffy thing on how they'll do it, why they'll do it, where they'll do it, but it probably will happen at some point. How will it happen? No idea. But again, I do think it will come. I genuinely think it will come. Save city attacks for level 60 plus. I would love Arena, but I would not work. No, so Arena they've talked about. We might get Arena in Classic Plus, but not till Classic Plus. Because the runes have broken the game. Arena is quite literally unplayable and unbalanceable. The devs have literally said, the game is so unbalanced that we can't balance it. And that is okay. That is cool. It doesn't have to be balanced. It just has to be playable. Yeah, so it'd probably be in a different location, part of the world, how they do it, but they likely will do something cool in the future. Airy Peak versus Raven Tusk Village. Siege both ways. Boom, you meet in the middle. One side pushes, push back. Assault group goes in from the side, hit Airy Peak from the back. Horde wins. Like, there's ways to do it. Yeah, arenas would do a lot more damage than benefits right now. Arenas would have to be a Classic Plus thing, so they could balance it properly, because we won't get runes in Classic Plus. A lot of the rune things you're seeing now will just be baseline implemented into your class instead of it being a rune. You'll just be able to buy the spell or however you put it. So Classic Plus will fix a lot of the issues people are having right now, but it won't be until Classic Plus. My son brought COVID home again, so my throat's a bit sore. I'd like to see solo shuffle type battlegrounds so we can avoid the tryhards and comps and we're just chilling and playing. That could be cool. Matter of how well will be implemented, how well will they do it, like I said. Exactly. There are so many different ways to do a PvP event in Hinterlands or Arathi Basin or the Arathi Highlands or even Western Plaguelands. Like, there's so many different things you could do. Like I said, it's just a matter of what are they spending their resources on? How well are they implementing those resources? How well are they spending those resources to give us content and experiences that we get to enjoy and like? I'm going to very quickly go clear my throat in my bathroom. We want Classic Plus and any Squiddy boys out there. I think they could make Arena available every 3 hours to not kill BGs in World PvP. Yes, Harris or weekly. I have not stocked up on any Winter Squid at all. I was thinking about it, and then I realized I don't actually have the time to play the game I talk about most of the time. I spend more time theory crafting than playing. I actually need to get in game and grind. You've gone full Charlie from Always Sunny. I have lawful. I have. I can't help it. Just have Arena give different rewards, make a separate ranking other than honor. That's a good way to do it, Draken. They could actually do that. I need to at some point delete this and use one of the two sides. What is it? My dog wants the white marker. Arena has too many balancing issues, and Classic is a nightmare to balance. Classic, I'm gonna bring this back here. I pushed it all the way away, and nobody said anything the whole time. Classic is a nightmare to balance. The Classic is genuinely so difficult to balance that it literally fucks up the game in terms of like Arena and balancing issues and stuff. Can you stop whining? I just took you out. I am streaming. The people want my stream. It's bed right next to my desk. Bed, go on. Stop. A second board could work, but I'm just going to wipe out the other side. Should I wipe out this side or the other side? Chat vote. Side 1. Side 2. Which side am I wiping out? Because I need to use the whiteboard, and I gotta wipe out a side so I can keep saying shit. I think I wipe out side 2. I think side 2 would be the better thing to wipe out. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe out this one. This is what I was thinking personally, honestly. Because I can come back to this. This other side is a lot of information that I want to leave there. Yeah, chat is with me on this. You know, I need Agran to get back in my Twitter DMs and leak shit to me. Like, Agran, my whole goddamn channel is built on conspiracy theories. And built on what ifs and copium. Like, Agran, I am some of the best PR Sod has. Every single WoW content, well, not every single one, 75% of WoW content creators react to my shit. think of all the views and positivity you would get if I got leaked some shit so I could discuss it. This shit takes forever to wipe out. Holy fuck. I've been wiping out for a fucking hot minute. Here we go. Invite Agron to the next stream. Become the Tally of Sod. I could become the Tally of Sod. Okay. I might do an interview with Agron. Who knows? He might say yes. You know, to be fair, every question with Agron with me is going to be SM, yes or no. I cannot confirm or deny. Phase 4, 3 raids. I cannot confirm or deny. Hey, Agrand, hey there. How you doing? Welcome to the stream, Agrand. Chat, this is Agrand. This is the lead developer of SOD. He's a real one. Agrand, sorry, look. You just connected. This is what I was doing with stream the whole time. You missed the other side of it. But we have been discussing Phase 3 and what is coming and why things should be here. How did I summon like that? Agron, look, at least tell me one thing. You don't have to leak anything. But for the sake of clips and memes for the whole community, is anything on this board right? I saw a whiteboard in my thumbnail. I was like, what's this all about? It's straight conspiracy, Agron. I make great breakfast, lunch, and dinner content. Also, stream says to me. I bought this just for stream, by the way. This was $140. I bought this whiteboard just so I could tell people my conspiracies live in 3D, written out. But yeah. You don't have to confirm anything. I know you can't leak anything. But is anything here correct? I can confirm that there's a whiteboard that has words on it. Boys, everything I said is true. Everything on the board is true. Because he didn't say the words are wrong. He didn't say that the words are wrong, which means I was correct. For the WoW dubs, please, some real Charlie. That has been said a few times today, Agron, and it absolutely has been. But I was just about to go into a breakdown of what I think is going to happen in Phase 3's PvP, because we're thinking it's STV Part 2, and I don't know if you guys are going to do another whole PvP event because the roadmap didn't show it. But I know you guys wouldn't do no PvP for a whole phase. So if we don't have a new PvP event, my logic was that it would be STV Part 2, maybe in the hinterlands or something like that. Ebonheart Jones. Straight up, this is Conspiracy Theory Central. But, please give us 7-day lockup for the next phase to prevent burnout, Agron. Like I said, Agron, he checks Twitter, he checks the content creators, he's always talking to the people. It's why I've said so much that I genuinely think Phase 3 is going to be amazing. And a lot of people do criticize me for being such a huge copium or like huge like positive guy. Because I never say negative stuff. And when I do, it's positive criticism. But can you think of Ian Hazzard doing this shit? I mean, honestly, he might have at some point. He can't say shit, guys. Come on, he's the lead developer. As much as we would love for him to confirm or deny stuff, he's not allowed to say anything. Like, his whole job is to surprise us. I still think it's going to be April 11th or 18th for the release date. And I do think the blue post is next Tuesday. If it's next Tuesday, it has to be April 11th or 18th. I genuinely think this is correct. But let's discuss the PvP event and what I think it's going to be. Anyways, do your thing. I'm just finishing my work and then getting to work on phase 3, of course. Phase 3, developer work confirmed right now. This is... Also, Agron, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you, my man. I hope you have a good day at work today. We're going to dive right back into the hinterlands. The lions and arrows do sell it, but again, this is because passion. Passion shows, and it's clear. I am letting him eat his cereal. Chat's the one harassing him. Cody, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Peace out, Agron. Okay, let's see. The lions are... Okay, give range on the defensive. You have given us some thought. I love it. No worries, guys. Agron, me, the Salt Dev team, all the creators, we do this for you guys. But now, okay, I'm gonna actually start writing more shit out on the board. Okay, let's get into this. True, his cereal could have confirmed what was coming. I didn't think of it at the time. Okay, anyways, so hinterlands. But thank you very much for becoming a member, by the way. I don't necessarily need people to become members, but every dollar that gets spent on my stream, my content, and me playing and doing stuff goes back into the stream so I can make more content and make better content. So if you guys do want to support me, becoming a member, subscribing, watching my content, commenting on my videos, all that stuff really does help. The algorithm seems to like me, but I don't know when that shit will stop. Okay. Where's the blue marker? You know, I adore Agron. Agron is a phenomenal developer. It is amazing how much he's done for the community. Thumbnail for the video should be Agron. Somebody clip Agron joining stream and my reaction when he joined stream, by the way. Yeah, Ada, you left and Agron was here. You guys, like, we were actually talking about Agron joining stream and talking, or just like watching. And the fact that he did, hilarious. But still, okay, but now I gotta actually explain. I'm gonna pull the whiteboard back a bit, so my head stops cutting. So, hinterlands. Not him. PvP in phase 3. Cereal is the code. Whether they grow cereal grains in Azeroth, that's the hint for the next PvP zone. Westfall, goddamn. Could be. Oh. No new event. STV Part 2. So, PvP in phase 3, there's no new event, and it's STV Part 2. So, go here. That line was very good. Will it be the hinterlands? Let's find out. Hinterlands. Potentially. Will it? I don't know if it will be the hinterlands. That one is kind of the copium. It's not necessarily a no, but that one is kind of a situation of, it's a lot more resources than simply going STV Pirates. And the STV Pirates makes more sense because it ties into Plunderstorm. So the STV Pirates, Plunderstorm, the vice versa, like all the things coming together would make the most sense. I hope they continue pranking the players by making the last boss auto pull right after you defeat it. Yeah, that one was terrible. I really hated that about Mechginia. So old STV should still give XP. But not many people are going to be doing it at level 40 while leveling. So most people doing the SPV event, even if it gives XP, is mostly for people to go and farm the mount rather than anything else. And the SPV Pirates leads into doubloons currency for the new rewards. It all does fall together very well. It's a very like logical connection of how things are happening. But what else could it be? So it could be hinterlands, it could be SPV Pirates and the doubloons as the currency. But what will they add? These little red markers are actually really helpful for no reason. I don't know why. What could they add? Let's see. New red Dandalari. So we have new reputations, which could also branch off into the Dandalari reputation, which would give us stuff. So if you look at this, this could, I get people saying it might not be pirates, but there is logic to it. The logic actually makes perfect sense. Daenerys is actually a good idea, and I was just about to get to it. But guess what the Daenerys pirates connect to? Bing, bing, bing. Pirates. Everything goes straight back to the blue. How much crack am I smoking right now? An excessive amount. Let me see this. Okay, let me read this. This is the best content. Thank you, Eben, for the theory craft and keeping me hyped. And thanks to the WoW Start dev team. Start is awesome. I love you too. Thank you very much for the $5. I do appreciate that. I'm having just as much fun as you guys are doing this content. Like, I genuinely enjoy doing this, like, this crack cocaine version of content. I have a lot of fun with the theory crafting and the data mining and the breaking things down. So long as people enjoy it, I will keep doing it. And when the people stop enjoying it, I don't know what I'll do. But for the meantime, the STV event makes perfect sense to be pirate because of this is why. Plunderstorm is the new thing in retail. When they added Plunderstorm, they delayed the classic blue post for a whole week. By delaying the classic blue post, Agron is in touch with Chris Metzen, the retail development team. So the logic of it is, if Agron talks to Chris Metzen and the devs, and they say what they're doing, they could take this event that already works well, they finally figured out the code, and the layering systems now work. If it works now, why would they bother changing the situation and formula instead of just enhancing and improving it? Like, am I wrong about saying this? I feel like the logic here is very solid and like simple. This really is amazing content. Makes my 12-hour shift so much more enjoyable. Hit that like button, people. Thank you guys. Again, I like that my audience says that shit more than I do, so I love you guys a lot. Thank you. Chris Messenger was involved with Plunderstorm. He had to have been. Plunderstorm's been in development for about 12 to 16 months. Chris Metzon's been there for 20 months now. So Plunderstorm had to have been approved by Chris Metzon. Well, to be fair, Chris Metzon is the creative director of all the Warcraft, so maybe he had nothing to do with it. But he still had a lot to do with World of Warcraft's universe. And everything in Classic has to tie into retail continuation. Because all like Xalatath being in the game for the lore, like doing a crafting recipe and all that stuff, it's all Xalatath. So when you combine everything, it makes sense that they're keeping the versions of WoW unified together to a degree. We already know we're not getting a new PvP event unless the roadmap was wrong. So now let me just say something. Let's write this. Is the roadmap true? Is the roadmap true, guys? That's the key question. Because if the roadmap is true, everything else here, the likelihood of being right goes up drastically. If they're lying in the roadmap, if the roadmap is false, then the event is a completely new and original PvP event. So, is the roadmap true? If it's false, you bet. So this is the board right now, as you guys can see. But it doesn't do 18-month development. This probably was in development for 4 years. It could have been in development for 4 years. About 5 years late to the Battle Royale scene, though. If they started this 5 years ago, how the fuck did it take them 5 years to make Plunderstorm? This should have taken no more than 12 months. 18 months if I'm being generous. It's not the newest, coolest, hot shit on the market. It's just Plunderstorm. It is cool, don't get me wrong, Plunderstorm is cool. I think Blood Moon is fun enough they can just keep it with updated weapons. Yeah, exactly. So, if we're staying on this side, Daenerys and Hinterlands has what? Trolls. And who do the Zamdalari hate? Every other troll. So, and then Daenerys gotta go here. So, everything then ends up tying back to. So these are the two options we have. Aid Guardman, thank you for becoming a member as well. I appreciate that, brother. Welcome to the Ebonheart fam. I need to do something with members. I actually haven't had many members, so I need to actually properly like do that shit sooner rather than later. But this is essentially the PvP roadmap. So now that I'm done writing on the board, I'm going to like pull my chair back up and like sit down. And then we're going to discuss it together. Pull this shit closer. Okay. But yeah, so conspiracists. Exactly. But now look, everything here makes sense. So for STV to not have a part 2, the roadmap has to be false. And if the roadmap is false, where the fuck is my finger pointing? Over here. Actually, if the roadmap is false, it's a new event. If the roadmap is true, there's no new event, which is STV part 2, which is either pirates or trolls. Those are your options. And you can still keep farming. I Arathi Basin, Warsong Gulch, AV, whatever reputation. So, by virtue of the logic, where's the black marker? Lumber or PvP rep. Battle Royale Blood Moon? It could work. It would be cool. I didn't move on it. Okay, there we go. That's better. Draken, thank you for becoming an Ebonite. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all. But so, here we go. This is Phase 3's PvP. Now, the only question is it STV, is it Hinterlands, or is it Daenerys? Because trolls are all that matter for this event to continue. Hinterlands and Daenerys both have a lot of level 50 trolls, 48, 49, whatever. You have Zul'Farrak, you have all of that. No, then after phase 4, I think ZG is a phase 5 or 6 raid, by the way, Datsun. Like, I'm not 100% sure on it, but I am pretty sure it's a phase 5 or 6 thing for ZG. They could, though, hypothetically, and this is interesting, I didn't actually think about this at all. The new raid could be ZG. Why am I saying ZG? I had a stroke of genius. Equals Zul ZG. Sunken Temple and all the quest lines could go straight from Sunken Temple into ZG. But probably not, because ZG is level 60 and they're not going to lower ZG to level 50. So that is probably false. Could it be true? I don't see why not. They could very easily lower the levels of everything in there to 50. Would just be a couple tweaks, change it around a bit, play around with the values and like the things you want to do to it, and then boom, you have ZG right after Sunken Temple. Because you killed Hakar's avatar in ST, which then leads into ZG, where you kill Hakar completely. When I look at the chart, I appreciate how thoughtful the OG team back the day to have trolls in all high 40s, low level 50s. Exactly. So, this is where we are as of right now. And we have a lot of things that we can do. Exactly, but Silithus could be phase 4. I don't know if we're gonna see Twilight Cultists till we're done with the troll stuff. That is true, Nix. But you don't have to hide if they change how the event works. Because the event might not be 5v5 Blood God event. It might be 40v40 massive PvP clashes. It might be like getting a big dick battle group going, rolling over people, holding the location. It literally might be whoever holds the flag, their raid team gets a buff. Every other raid team has to fight until someone else picks up the flag. And you get points to cash in based on how long your raid group holds the flag, or holds the flag's location, or the hill. There is so much that they could do. Like, I do have the whiteboard out. So welcome to all the new people. I don't know how many people here are regulars, how many people are new people. Thank you all for stopping by. This is the PvP breakdown. Now we are getting close to the outdoor dungeon and hinterlands. There's going to be runes all over that place. Hinterlands and Teneras are going to have most of the runes. How much of them will they have? Not sure. But a lot of them will be there. 139 mages or priest and GG. Yeah, pretty much. Draken, pretty much. What is bro cooking? I just got on. I am cooking the future of Phase 3. This is Season of Discovery. Fuck university. You don't understand. I'm afraid the open world dungeon will have boss farming 24/7. It won't be able to. Because if it's an open world PvP location or farming location, the bots will be slaughtered. Bots don't farm in high value, high pressure locations. Bots farm in middle to low value locations so they can get away with it. If you put a bot in an actual open world spot, it'll be a nightmare for everybody else. The bots will get wiped. Yeah, Mr. Whiteboard Heart or Board Heart. That's what we're doing. But you know, so this is where we are right now. Hinterland and Teneras has the potential to do a lot. But what exactly will they do is the curious question we all have. And I am thinking that it has to be either we continue STV, stay in STV and keep killing pirates. Hey Pierre, great channel and stream. You're wondering how I'm 27, 28 next year, early next year. Yo, Mr. Whiteheart, we need to cook. Jesse, now's not the time. The only thing I'm cooking is World of Warcraft conspiracies. We can cook Black Lotus after stream, but till the stream is done, I gotta teach. And thank you, I do appreciate the compliment. I'm not a typical WoW boomer, but I am at the very same time a WoW boomer. Like, I'm a boomer for WoW at heart, but I'm a youngin in comparison to some of the people. But like, getting back on track, I think it's Hinterlands or we stay in STV. Hell yeah, Pierre. Yeah, no, I do be youngin. So I do get it. But like I'm saying, Hinterlands, Teneras, or STV. Thank you, Kibi. I appreciate that. Hey, Mally, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Bro's been playing WoW for like 18 years now, I think. I have been. Oh, dude, no. We're all young. Honestly, your age is irrelevant. It's now financial standard instead of age that matters. Because back in the day, boomers had houses, cars, all that shit. And millennials and all that had nothing. So age is irrelevant. We're all poor together. But no, Mally, you're a G. I appreciate you. So. And yeah, 18 years of WoW. I've been playing since I was a child. Like, goddamn. I'm 29 and WoW's the only thing that makes me feel like an adult all over again. No, you're perfectly good. It's fine, Pierre. You're a G. Don't stress it. It's all perfectly good. Nurse. So, this is, in my personal opinion, the only 3 directions they can go, so long as the roadmap is true. I'm only poor on my bank account. Credit cards are making me rich. I can feel that one, man. That's personal. That one hits right here. That's everybody in chat, honestly. Yeah, no, the statistics for my audience. I feel like I walked into the Psych Awards gaming section. You did. This is the Psych Awards gaming section. But I'm correct. Like, honestly, do you know how I know I'm correct? I'm gonna tell you all how I know I'm correct. Agron was in stream earlier. The lead dev of Season of Discovery was in stream earlier. Black Tar Lotus, absolutely. But Agron was here. And he neither confirmed nor denied anything. But by virtue of him stopping by, that means I'm close somewhere. Whether I'm close on the PvP side or I'm close on the PvE side, I am close. And this is how I know I'm on the right track. He just came to see what we were smoking. We're smoking God's honest truth. I may be crazy, but you guys can't tell me that this isn't valid. I ain't flexing just because my conspiracies are close is not a flex. I think you would literally just suggest it to him by the YouTube algorithm, though. Probably big about it. Like, honestly, I'm kind of reaching right now. But I want to reach because, like, please. 2 raids. Most people playing Classic WoW are like 45 years old. I feel like part of the new generation of Classic players. Stop cooking. I am never going to stop cooking. Inland would be cool. The Horde and Ally fly pass on completely different sides of the zone, so they could be a class. Exactly. That's why it's cool. That's why there's a lot of value in it. It's why there's so much that they could do when they're doing the whole situation. This is the first WoW schizo poster. Y'all are watching history right now. Bro's reaching to the moon. Speaking the truth. Maybe Agron was not really having breakfast, as he said, but he was with his team and thinking how the fuck he knows everything. You think like they were actually just had my stream open up in the office, watching my stream, being like, how did this crackhead get close? Cooking so hard the DA is about to come knocking. Forget about the Pinkertons. Fuck the police. We cooking. During stream, it's conspiracies. After stream, me and my younger brother, Jesse Scar Pinkman, are cooking Black Tar Lotus. Bro has 2 sides to his board. He's losing it. I wish MC was rescaled for Phase 3. I want my tank rogue to roll full Night Slayer armor. Ooh, Pierre, that would be cool. It's coming, but not yet. Funny thing is, he was never this passionate about Wrath of the King or retail. He's been cooking hard for about 6 months. SOD and Classic are so fun. I am so interested in SOD and Classic. There's so much cooking to be done. So much discovery and mystery to dive into. Like, look at the board and tell me I'm wrong. Like Captain Master Valrak, he knows all the secrets. I do. You know what? Invite me to BlizzCon. I will give the best presentation anybody's ever seen on SOD. Let me announce Classic Plus. Let me do the Classic Q&A. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm smoking, honestly. At this point, we've gone off the hinge. But what do people think? You feel like you'd be wearing a tinfoil hat. I've been thinking about getting into WoW for a while. I don't know if SOD is the right place to start, but it might be. It is. SOD is the best place for a new player to start. You need to start in SOD because it's the friendliest game mode to new players and rewarding for hardcore players. Chat and Eben, any idea what would Helm Rune be for hunters? So they are trying to force Hunter back into being a ranged class. Melee Hunter broke Hunter so hard that they're pushing Hunter off of melee back into ranged. So the next rune for Hunter will likely be something to improve your beast mastery or your abilities, or something to make hunters stronger in the sense that you're viable as a range class, but I'm not a melee class. Because the other two runes are pretty much ranged, so the third rune would have to be ranged as well. Draken, I think we are a stream or two away from him talking about Fluorite and the frog is gay and Satellite still in his thoughts. No. The only thing I did say that was that conspiracy theorist is that they're putting microtransactions in the games to turn the player base gay. Because gay people have money and they spend it. So, that was my crazy theory. What does that mean though? We're not going to discuss that anymore, actually. Please enroll characters in Crusader Track NA as new players. The server is somewhat hostile to newcomers and returning players. No, MM does need love. If you are a new player though, my guild's recruiting. There are other guilds on Crusader Strike, Alliance or Horde. Pick what you want. There will always be people looking for new players. A lot of my friends are being gatekept there. Man, fuck the elites. It doesn't help to be elitist. It only drives players away. Dual income, no kids, will make the world go around. 100% Mally. I agree, MM lacks love, BM is pretty strong. Yeah, no, they need to make range stronger so that more hunters go range, which doesn't make the class as OP as it was before. If you are a new player and you don't have friends, right? If you're a new player with no friends, play on a PvE server, you will have a better time. Salt was supposed to be experimental and stuff, but the team missed the mark terribly with some specs and phase 1 and didn't have anything prepared to completely rework them for next phase. It seemed they just doubled down. Sadly, Pierre, there's some things that they have to do because... Can y'all hear my dog, by the way? Because he's like snoring right there. So I don't know if you guys can hear him. Yeah, they did double down, but they will rework it eventually. Remember, the experiment is meant to be an experiment, which does eventually lead into a better class system for Season of Discovery, Season 2, or Classic Plus, or whatever they call it. You were chatting about PvP. What do you think will happen with rank rewards? Level 7 is 2-piece, level 60 gear. So Spicy, with rank gear, it's probably going to be level 8 or 9 next phase. Because they said HU40 was meant to be rank 14. But I think they're going to walk that back. Because the gear they're getting already... Okay, let me say it level this way. The gear we're getting in Raid already is better than the PvP gear. So, they have to give you more pieces, and they're probably going to rework the pieces once you hit like level 60. It'll be a while, but I'm not sure exactly when they plan on reworking the PvP gear, but they will rework it. It's 100% going to be reworked. I just can't tell you if it's phase 3, 4, or 5. So keep that in mind. Who's at my door? Oh, it's an Amazon package. I'll get it later. Okay, thanks for about the doggo. What class should I play for the guild? Priest is always in demand. Warlock, Mage, and Priest. Honestly, Warlock, Mage, and Priest, Mally. Pick a Warlock, Mage, or Priest for the guild. I hope the X's and recent spam is so boring. I do believe... I mean... One second. No, it was just packages. It's just packages. Why are grime encrusted salvage prices going crazy? Is my stream back? FBI open. Can you guys hear me right now? Let me see. It says I'm still live. And what the fuck? Why does it say error? Yeah, I'm still live. Doesn't matter. Yeah, they probably will add better loot for paladins and other classes that don't actually have good loot to pull from. Some runes should go to the trash directly after they lock in some warrior runes, for example, and be replaced. It's just not enough to add new rune slots. Well, the old runes. Okay, yeah. For some reason it says I have an error, but like everything is working properly, so I don't know what that's about. Okay, no, it's fine then. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they do need to rework runes, but like I said, they're not going to rework things aggressively or drastically. They're only reworking things temporarily until they can figure what works for Classic Plus in the future. I just got DMCA'd by Blizzard. They said, turn that shit off. No, but it is genuinely a situation of a lot of classes have runes and gear that needs complete reworks, but we will not get the rework completely until Classic Plus. So the full PvP gear sets for every class, 100% reworked, new stats, better stats, this and that, like little extra abilities. But for the majority of the players, the runes and stuff like that will not be reworked enough, because again, every phase is an experiment, and they're quite literally trying to figure out what works, what people like, and why they like it, and then see what people don't like and why they don't like it, so they can change that for Classic Plus or Season of Discovery Phase 2 or Season 2, whatever they want to call it. So with those things in mind, we know there will be changes, pretty drastic changes in upcoming phases. The exacts of what they'll change, though, is where the conspiracy shit comes from. Well, spell reflect the BC ability, that would be very handy. Honestly, being able to reflect like a 2000 damage crit back to a shaman would be hilarious. Be great. What if they missed the mark again on runes for Classic Plus? They should be aggressive and thought on. No, Pierre, there's not going to be runes in Classic Plus. They're using runes as a system to rework what works, to figure out how to buff and change classes. They're going to take the best runes for every class and implement them as like actual abilities in like Classic Plus or whatever. The rune system isn't coming back. The rune system is now a seasonal system. So the next season will be like Season of Insanity, Season of Madness, Season of Death, Season of whatever they call it. And those seasons will keep experimenting and playing with runes. Whereas Classic Plus will have permanent spells, not runes. Do I think weapon runes will be for major abilities? Hero classes is probably how they'll implement weapon runes, in that every class only gets a specific weapon rune. So you always know what they get. And it very likely won't be a weapon rune. It will be a hero weapon. So you can always see what the other person is using, if that makes sense. So for example, it might be something like, warriors get, Axe of War. And Axe of War is just a big hero weapon. It's a hero runed weapon. So as a warrior, you'll always be able to tell a warrior has this on, and you can always tell what rune they have, because the Axe of War is a specific rune. Exactly, kind of like an artifact weapon. That's only a maybe though, because again, this is a lot of developmental power that they might not actually use. And you guys have to realize that they only have a limited amount of development power, like dev power, of what they can make and design. So they might not actually do this. This is more of a maybe. This is more of a very big maybe. Like, that's conspiracy as shit. But no, I too would prefer Classic Plus instead of seasonal content, because I want a permanent game mode for the next 4 to 6 years of classic content. I want to hit 60 and then get phase 5, and then phase 6, and then phase 7, and then phase 8. Like, I want to be like I want to be 2030 and us being on phase 17 or phase 18 of Classic Plus. That's what I want for the game. And I think it's the best way for them to do it, personally. Will they? Again, that's where the situation is of what exactly is the plan for the end of Classic, of the end of Season Discovery. I can't predict it cleanly. Emerald Dream as phase 7 is way too close. They will need way too much manpower to fix Emerald Dream. I would like that a lot, but I don't think it's coming, sadly. I think phase 6 and 7 is going to be finishing off like AQ and stuff like that, and then the latter phases, like phase 10 onwards, would be new content, like Hyjal, the zone being refinished, the tunnels of AQ, the second half of BRD, opening Grim Batol, stuff like that that's already in the game and easier to do is probably what they'll finish. I am way more invested in my Sword Tune compared to Retail and Wraths. Would be a big L if I lose my main there. You likely will. We'll likely all end up on a Classic Era server, and then we'll get Classic Plus, and then we'll get a permanent character after. So the Hyjal stuff I saw, Pierre, and I was actually discussing this yesterday. The Hyjal zone is finished, and Illidan's prison is in game right now. So they could finish Hyjal, put NPCs, quests there, put, you know, mobs in Hyjal. Then they could open Illidan's prison and make Illidan's prison the raid where we have to go in there and kill or defeat the Night Elf separatists who hate the Alliance. And it would explain why both zones, why both factions are fighting in there. Yeah, no, Emerald Dream would be amazing, but no, like Garsman said, it's way too much effort. And Karazhan, it'll also be amazing. Karazhan could have so much potential if done right. Like, Karazhan's already fully finished. So they can do Karazhan, they can do Hyjal, they can do so much. Like, there is so much they can do. Like, I'm so invested in the future. Like, you guys don't understand how excited I am about Classic, about Season of Discovery, about what's coming. Like, it is genuinely, like, do you guys think I act like this about every game? This is just me in Season of Discovery. This is like the future of the game, the future of what we get to experience is so close to us that we have access to so much content that we will be able to be playing Season of Discovery and Classic Plus for half a decade with no increase in the level cap. Undermine, Uldum, Grim Batol, Hyjal, Illidan's prison, the underwater dungeon in Ajara, the underground of AQ, AQ Fallen Empire. Let's see. They can finish off the second half of Stratholme. They can do Zulaman. They can do. There's Karazhan Crypt and Karazhan Proper. Karazhan Proper and Karazhan Crypts are both finished. Like, I just listed like 14 phases worth of content. With that much content available to us, why would we not be given that content? Exactly, Oscar. That's too much copium for me. I'm gonna go back to expect regular MC AQ Black Women and some scuffed Kara Crypts with like 3 bosses so that I'm pleasantly surprised. Pierre, all I'm saying is SOD has so many more players than Cataclysm ever will. They just gotta focus on SOD and keep pumping and pumping and pumping, and it's going to be amazing in the long run. Like, we are genuinely looking at the beginning of a whole new era for Classic, for Season of Discovery, and for Classic Plus. And people can say I'm coping. People can say I'm on the copium train. I'm huffing this or that. But to date, just in 2 phases, we got 2 new raids, 2 massive PvP events, a whole bunch of professions and quest lines and all that stuff. Could they have released it faster? Yes. But it's only looking up. It's genuinely only looking up. I'm curious what you want in, let's say, something like a reworked WoW or WoW 2 Classic Plus. What if we get WoW 2 and we stay on the road of the story? Even with fewer content, sod rates are legit really good. They are. It doesn't anymore. Sod's population is way down, half of what phase 1 was. See, D-Dubs, I don't know about that. People keep saying that, but the metrics the devs have say otherwise. Just because the player base out loud says people aren't playing, I haven't seen that. I do get what you're saying. There probably is less players, but I don't think it's half of phase 1. Yep, Gabriel, Sod and Kato have the same development team. And what do I want in reworked WoW? I just want vanilla finished. I don't want them to redo the whole world, to go this and that. I don't want to go to Outland or Northrend. I want them to finish vanilla. I want a Cataclysm style revamp of vanilla as vanilla. No changes aside from making the graphics better and the sides of the mountains not, you know, invisible or backwards and weird walls. I want them to old school RuneScape classic is all I want. They've been able to do these first phases by soft locking existing zones with levels. Come 60, they're going to have to figure something else out. New zones that are also are going to hit the same. The idea has potential. It is a great instance you can see was made with long work and love. MC bosses are fine, but the place stuff was made like a week. I think they should rework it. The American buff popping every 10 seconds. No way their player base is only half of phase 1. Phase 1 was full of alts. That is the difference between phase 1 and phase 2. Is phase 1 had so many alts, and phase 2 has so many, well, so much less alts. So much potential it has. With Classic Plus, could bring new life to old zones, expand. Exactly. Twisted, you 100% get me. I still can't get the rest of Multiple 40 yet, even with the light buff. You know, Harris, I actually feel that. I'm genuinely right there with you. Sod does feel like it has less people, but Sod is still absolutely full. Honestly, revamped MC sounds fun as fuck. Like, if they revamp MC, they get a lot of attention. Like, a lot of people would be like, holy fuck, guys, MC is the new thing. MC is amazing. MC is this. Let's do this. Let's do that. But that's where we are right now. Krayway, you monster. God damn. That dedication, brother. That's a lot of dedication. But yeah, no. Between making content and not actually playing the game, the content I make on, I haven't had time to level up like I've told people. I spend so many hours data mining, researching, going through forum posts, dev stuff, Twitter, this, that, all this random shit that I only really raid log right now. I need to start doing like Twitch streaming where I stream for 3 or 4 hours on Twitch to actually play the game, instead of doing these high effort, high value streams where I just put all this time into research and discovery. The alt leveling is easy, I will admit. It's just a matter of time. Camping, Nasdaq, and forgot leveling. That's fair, Harris. But no, there's an obscene amount of content for us all to partake in. And there's only going to be more content. Phase 3 is looking insane. 2 raids, Sunken Temple from the get-go, Heroic Dungeons, STV Part 2, Titan Runes. I don't know if Heroic Dungeons and Titan Runes are in Phase 3. That might be a Phase 4 thing. But there's all this content in the game. And like, we need to be able to experience stuff. Because like what several people have said is true. But see, I should Tectonic. But at the same time, I like giving a high quality stream where every minute of the stream is informational, has educational, has theory crafting, and has quality to it. I just don't feel like I can deliver a high quality stream if I'm sitting there playing the game and actively like playing and like paying half attention to to his chat. So for that reason, it's going to be like an off-stream thing for me when I mostly do my playing. And Pierre, it wasn't confirmed, but the developers have essentially said they know the main problem with SOD is a lack of content halfway through. And because there's a content gap at the middle of the phase, like 6 weeks in, people start getting bored. And because people are getting bored at the halfway point, they need to make a way for the players to keep playing and not be bored. So how do you do that? You bridge the gap with the lack of content. So you open the bridge and you make more raids, more dungeons, more things for people to farm and do. You just got to stagger the release a bit. And Nyx, a Titan Rooms is something from Wrath, where healers and tanks are rewarded for running dungeons so that more people do dungeons. So, I have 5 mains, no alt, all full bith, 95 average log, exalted rev reps, 20 quest like phase 3. I'm ready for phase 3. Maybe we'll get some info today or tomorrow. Brandon, we're getting information next Tuesday. I don't think we're getting anything for the rest of the week. No, I get everybody. Like I said, we are getting more runes. We are getting more content, more info, way more shit for me to data mine and stream and like talk about. But that won't be until next Tuesday. Next Tuesday's stream is gonna be nutty. I am going live at 10. We are going to be breaking down the blue post, discussing all that shit. It's going to be amazing. Like, I am excited as fuck to break down and discuss everything with everybody. We're going to have the whiteboard. We're going to go through everything. We're going to discuss every little piece of information and what that means for us as the players. But for today's stream, I'm just going to continue discussing the theory crafting and all that stuff. Yeah, with that much stuff, Brandon, like, you're insane. You and Krayway are nutty. You and Krayway are just full nutty. Like, I'm 1 full 40, 134, and like a bunch of like level 10s and 8s and whatever. Like, I really need to put that time in and grind my alts up, because I need to get every tank to max level so I can talk about every tank effectively. Brandon, low-key, that dedication. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think everyone is going to be pleasantly surprised and actually have a good time come phase 3. That's my personal opinion. Everyone is going to have an amazing time come phase 3, because it makes the most sense that we all continue to have a good time. They won't just give us the content drought and give us shit content. They gave us the content drought so they could work on the next phase of content. And that's huge. Having all that new extra content is actually beneficial. Sure, it sucks for phase 2. It sucks for a lot of us. We're all kind of like bored or this or that. But it means we're going to be getting more stuff come next phase. Like, this post might look nutty, but there is a massive amount of truth to what you see here. And that is why you should all be excited for phase 3. I just fell in love with SOD, man. It's amazing. The devs can't disappoint. Who's at my doorbell now? Oh shit, okay. 1 second, guys. All right, but guys, so I am going to end the stream here. I have kind of other things to talk about. I'll have more for next stream, but thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed my copium and the nuttiness and like the conspiracy theories. I really enjoy doing these streams. I really enjoy making this content for everybody. But no, sincerely, thank you everybody. I will see you guys either tomorrow or Monday. I'll make a post in my Discord So if you want to see more from me, you want to be guaranteed to see more content and stuff like that, just join the Discord. If you do like the content, make sure you subscribe. And again, thank you everybody. Become a member, do whatever you want, but join the Discord, do all that stuff. I'm going to link the Discord real quick for everybody, and then we can go from there. I'm going to end the stream after I link the thing. But again, thank you. I love you all. Love heart. I'll see you guys on Monday. So no stream tomorrow, but I'll see everybody on Monday. So next stream is Monday.